Okay, part two demo. Uh, Last week, yes, we also finished up uh, importing all the items, or the feedback items from Train the Trainer and CSM course into the Trello card. We don't have the physical one anymore, so we wanted to use the photos, and we did the best we could. There were some written in pen that were hard to transpose, but the majority of them, 98% of them, were able to be put into Trello. We also had um, a better method of categorizing in Trello the different card builds and items that needs to be done. The red NSX, the card number 7, and also we broke down the 3 different categories so that worked out much better in this sense. Any blocks? Yes, there was a block that the upstairs items that they need to be going through Mary Michael. I didn't know what that boundary was, so she gave me a call and we had to work that out. I think that's going to be a dependency issue if that's the case. And I had hoped she would be on the call so we could work out things like that later on. Our intern also requested that if there was more opportunities for professional engagements, that would be the case. So we researched and found one that's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. And so we will head to one of those new tech formats, and should be able to go from there. And that is it for me. Who would like to go next? And Gunnar just arrived. Nice glasses.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Hi.
yes. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I guess you're going.
Okay. So for this past week, I would give myself a 3.
Oh no, not yet. This is not the retro. This
Oh,
is
we're not
just
in the retro yet?
Yeah,
Oh,
not
okay.
yet. Just
Oh.
stand up.
Oh, okay.
What you did last week, what you're doing
Right.
this week, and then any blocks.
Right. Okay. I thought we did one time. So stand up.
I had some technical difficulties, but go.
Okay. So last week what we did was, if I remember correctly, we've been working a lot on the board, on the physical board, because a lot of the post-it notes have been redirected elsewhere. This week I'm hoping to on the Trello board.
Oh, that was already done. So what was missed was that we did a lot of the backlog groomings and put them into Trello and also categorized them. There was the block with Mary Michael, and that we'll hopefully get that cleared up. And this week we look like we may be actually working towards the red NSX.
Yeah, and that's what I hope we can get to too as well. Working on the red items. Yeah, not much has been, at least on my end, at least there has not been much
Gotcha.
going on.
Sounds good. Any blocks? How was the exam?
Hopefully it went well.
Okay.
Yeah, I finished it.
That's good. Finishing is important.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, and just to jump back on there too, I forgot. My apologies. Lee and Chris and I were actually able to sync up a bit more. I think a couple times this last week on the website. I think we started already backing up the website, so thank you, Chris and Lee. They both actually are coordinating and figuring out what some of the next steps and next high priority items are to get our website a little more tuned and loading would be faster, remove some of those problems. Currently, right now, it's loading pretty slow. But before making the changes, it was proposed that we back up the site first, which required us to actually implement a new plugin. And that was, I think, started, and so we are seeing some of those blocks. I think Event Espresso did not get updated. That is all also coordinated and recorded up into YouTube, as well as reflected in our Trello board as a new column. I believe it says website enhancement. If there's any problems viewing or seeing those, let me know. We'll go further from there. And that is it for me. Now, who would like to go next? Or us?
Is this Lauren Salter on Gabriel Island, British Columbia? And okay, so past week, did not a lot, but I did look at the spreadsheets again, and I probably have some crosstalk for one of the financial spreadsheets, notably 2011, which I've been working on quite a while without much success. So that's what I did in the past week. In the coming week, I'm hoping to solve the question that came up and say any questions I've got for either Michael, who's already kind of looked at things, or somebody in Linwood other than Joe, who might know something about the financials questions. And maybe Michael can give me a hint on that. And blocks, I would say planning a trip to Arizona for 3 weeks, starting on the 20th through about the 8th. And also usual things, but nothing special, and some blocks removed. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Lauren.
Okay, it's Michael Wolchuk in Saskatoon. Can you guys hear me? Okay, excuse me.
Yes.
Last week I did a little bit on like an introductory page to the website. It was our process improvement, I believe, last week to onboard people a little bit better. The questions from one of the newer members a few months ago that I did my best to answer. I'm sure that the answers are not all correct, but it's a starting place, and it's something that we can put perhaps on the welcome page. Maybe we can correct a few of the answers. Finding a single person as a contact to kind of help people along. I don't think I agree with Chris. It's kind of a difficult thing to have one person do. So more like posting to the group any questions you have or any suggestions, and waiting for some feedback. I did get the beginnings of an electrical drawing done, and I got it posted, and I haven't gotten any feedback, and my wife pointed out that I should have printed out a PDF of it and attached it, rather than expecting everyone to go to the website and download the package so that they could look at it. So my bad, I wasn't paying attention or thinking very much. That will be done tonight. And I guess a beginning or a draft of what the guys at Local Motors call a spark, which is just a little summary of the project for the WIKISPEED car. I'm not sure what exactly to concentrate on. It's a pretty broad topic, and it's difficult to go into much detail. So I guess it's pretty general. I did want to post that we were using the Geomagic package, and I did want to post that we were using an electrical package for drawings, because I had asked the questions on the Local Motor site. Next week I'm going to be working on the drawings again, and hopefully we can make a little bit more progress on onboarding. Hopefully I can post my draft to the board or to the Google group and get some feedback. And I have no blocks, so that should be about it for me.
Thank you, Michael. All right, that moves on to our retrospectives. Gunnar, why don't you kick us off?
All right. So what I was saying last time, a couple minutes ago, I'd give myself a 3, mainly because I feel like I haven't really been focusing much on WIKISPEED, you know? I feel like that I've been kind of directing my attention elsewhere on, on my schoolwork and stuff, and I wish I could spend more on, stuff like like the Trello board. You said that it was updated with all of the feedback and stuff. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to do that. So like, thank you for I appreciate it.
We still have the what is that? We need to make a card for that, but we still have just thousands, no, not yet, but hundreds of lines of Excel data that we want to try and put over to the new one. So I figure, you know what, that would be something that you'll like to do and enjoy.
Yes, I would. And again, I apologize. I've just been really busy with my other stuff. I haven't been able to focus on this. As a team, though, I feel like I'd give us like an 8 or 9, because I feel like we've been really working on preparing. I feel like we've put a lot of time into planning, which I think is important, because I feel like that's going to kick us off into the things that we're going to be doing, like for example this NSX build. So, and yeah, I don't think there's anything else.
A process improvement.
Oh yeah, for the process improvement, I don't really have one right now.
That's okay. Okay. I'll go next. A 3, and then give the team an 8.
Yeah, you've been putting in work.
I know my bad habits are coming through. Crap. This is what happens. So, I'm going to say no by giving myself such low numbers, and I hope you'll heed that as a mentor. Yes, to a mentee, if that's the case. I'd give myself a 9. I want to give the team also a 9. I think we're working really well. I think also what we're doing is awesome, as we're seeing blocks and we're moving them and moving forward. We're doing better in planning. Our trajectory of velocities has increased month after month. We are averaging around 300 points, I think, the beginning of the year, and immediately after we had to accelerate because of the 3T prep and the CSM. And unfortunately, you can tell from the graph and archiving it went up straight like this, as opposed to a steady increase in terms of velocity. So let's try to figure out something a little bit more sustainable. And as the product owner, I think I did, in retrospect, I did not do as good of a job as I like to see myself, or even a product owner, protect the team better. I think as the organization of the whole, yes, we had to triage and things, but then that means my team, supposedly, or my realm of items, projects, had to be put away to the wayside to make room for something else. So that's what I see. As a process improvement, I had one, and I think I'll remember it towards the end. So who would like to go next? I think Lauren just stepped away. Michael, do you want to go ahead, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm going to give myself probably a 6. I don't think I think you shouldn't be too hard on yourself when you're giving yourself credit. It's not how much time you put in; it's what you've done compared to what you were planning to do. I think is the idea. You knew that you weren't going to have a whole lot of time when you did your planning last week. I don't think you should beat yourself up over it this week.
Yeah. That's good.
And like, I've given myself 1 out of 10 just for showing up to this meeting. So you got to kind of put things in context. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm going to go with a 9 for the team, and I do not have a process improvement. Sorry, guys. This process improvement thing is something that I can agree to or build on, but coming up with items on my own, I don't seem to be very good at. So you do what you're good at, right? Anyway, hopefully Lauren will be back soon, because that's about it for me.
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you, Michael.
I'm kind of multitasking here, but so I may have to interrupt partway through. But so I agree with Michael about the scoring, because given the score, somebody gave themselves 3. I'm gonna have to give myself a 1, but I think I'm a 3.
He'll give himself
So,
3,000.
yeah. And the team of 10, and I did think of a process improvement that I wanted to talk about. I also wanted to remember to say to Michael that I want the package to look at the drawing, because I'm interested in I just upgraded my SketchUp, and I want to get the tools that we're using. So and I had an idea for a process improvement that was suggested by, I think maybe something to do with the onboarding. I'll try and remember it for crosstalk. That's it.
Thank you, Lauren. And I do remember my process improvement now. Okay, so what was it, yesterday or the day before? During our non-aft stand-up with Lee and Chris Wallace, I got an amazing looking hat, and Lee quickly found her hat, and I was the third one out, so I went and grabbed my hat, and we had a non-aft stand-up with hats on. It was epic because it increased the morale, despite some of the things that were roadblocks that we were having, and also just the lack of time that we had. But our morale was there. We had good conversations. We went through all the things that we needed to do, even address some of the demos and that were being done at the time of the stand-up too. So my process improvement is have a prop or something funny to bring to stand-up. Who knows? It could be fun, and that would be great. Why not make this fun? That's my process improvement.
This is Lauren. That sounds cool. However, I did remember mine, which is, I agree. No, doesn't make sense to have one person who's like the greeter, like the Walmart greeter greets all our new people, because that would be too much, and you'd be on call all the time. What about some kind of random or other kind of assignment to people? And it wouldn't necessarily be that you had to answer all the questions, but if the person seemed to be struggling and you couldn't guide them to the answer, then you would take on finding the person who did and putting them in touch with the person, or getting the answer and going back to it. Anyway, it's a kind of a in healthcare you call it it's not primary care, it's kind of the advocate for the orientation. So that's my process improvement.
Can I learn just a comment on that? Yeah, I can't come up with a way of having people assigned to work with people's schedules. So having or coaching the new people to post to the group and having whoever has time respond is probably a little less structured and maybe more doable.
I agree. I amending my process improvement to what Michael said.
I think we can bring that up in crosstalk on what are some of the ideas, and then we can bring it up and vote on it next time. How about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So our one process improvement then is to bring a prop to stand up to uplift morale. That's what you left me with, folks. Thanks very much. Does anyone have anything that is like, process or structure related? At least this will be fun. I mean, it's what it's meant for, and it's also to highlight on what Joe Justice said to me the last time we were able to talk, which was at least a few weeks ago, is that you're taking this a little too seriously, William. Have some fun with it. I'm like, what? What does that mean? I don't understand. My mind is blown. Like, have some fun with it? I thought I was having fun. So I'm going to have even more fun by saying, bring a prop. Bring a prop. And who knows, maybe the next stand-up I'll be wearing a helmet, like a racing helmet, which would be hard because everybody will have a hard time listening to me or hearing me. But we'll figure something out. or I don't know, a race suit. That's expensive, but something. I like the prop idea. The hats were fun, uh, and I see racing helmets next to me, so that's something we can do. So let's vote on it. All in favor of having the bring a prop to stand up idea? Say or not say aye. Say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Positive improvement. Bring a prop to stand up to increase morale. And if it works, maybe we'll figure out even better ways to spread that more. Gentlemen, let me. Yeah, look at that. Is that a Linux doll? I'm gonna
Yes,
stop
and I
our.
have a huge collection of Tech Boom swag from the Bay Area.
Yes, that is awesome. He's already instituting. Thank you, Lord.
I believe most of the companies are extinct. This one is Fizz Linux, Thizlinux, or Thiz in Canada, Linux. And I have a lot of mint tins. I have a ball that has lasers inside of it, a rubber ball.
Nice. I wonder if I could find my my penguin too. I was playing with Linux way back in the day. I think this is probably 20 years ago at least. I've been trying to upload large files of our stand-up, and some of them are too large. So I'm going to stop this one, and then give me a moment to record another session so we can upload pieces of it. Work with me on this, please. So give me about